I've got 3 new bands for you this week, and they're all from Europe. This time I'm going to start with a band that is probably my new obsession, and they're going to soon be one of my favorites, I'm sure of it. I'm talking about Carach Angren. This is their new release, Frankensteinum Strata I Montanus. This came out on Season of Mist Records, June 26th, so it's still fairly new. Now, they would be considered, for the most part, symphonic black metal. However, I don't think you can really tie them down to that. There's a lot involved here. I've even heard them referred to as a horror metal band. And this is a Dutch band, and they are just the most incredibly talented band. Now, I should start off by saying, if you don't know the difference between symphonic black metal and more traditional black metal, symphonic black metal, of course, means it's usually adding symphony orchestration to it. Also means that they care about giving you a quality production and really putting a lot into their art, whereas traditional black metal usually sounds like it was recorded inside of a tin can that resides in someone's asshole. That being said, I do like a lot of black metal bands also. It just depends on the particular thing, but I do prefer when you actually care about your product and how much you put into it, and these guys put so much into their music. It is amazing. This is like theater for your ears. If you took like your favorite horror movie and made it into a high quality production Broadway musical, and then put heavy metal guitars to it, and then crunch it all down just so it could be audible, that's what you have here. This is an amazing band. Now, these guys, all their albums are, of course, symphonic in some way. It's actually currently only 2 members in the band. They've kind of gone through a few lineup changes, but 2 main members are Saragor and Ardek, and they played every instrument you can think of, and a lot of beautiful, even concert piano involved along with it. It's really quite amazing to hear everything that they put in this. The sound of the orchestration is incredible. I mean, the production of it is amazing. It almost sounds like they hired Gimli the Dwarf to go in and sound the horn in Helm's Deep. Yes, that's a Lord of the Rings reference. Yes, I'm a Tolkien nerd. And speaking of Tolkien nerd, let's talk about the name Carach Angren. That actually is a Tolkien reference itself. It is the tongue of Mordor. Basically, in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, that is the name of the pathway, the fortified pathway that goes into Mordor, where they have to take the ring into. So it actually means iron teeth. So Carach Angren means iron teeth. This band is just amazing with their different sounds. Every single album they put out is a concept album. That means from beginning to end, it is one continuous story. Now, this particular album, obviously, as you can tell, has a little bit of the Frankenstein story to it. It's actually about Johann Conrad Dippel and the elixir of life. So there's a lot about reanimating dead tissue and that sort of thing. Very interesting story. These guys combine a lot of soundscapes, a lot of voiceovers. They also, in order to sometimes change moods or characters, will switch languages. They obviously speak Dutch, they speak English, they speak German, they speak French. Very dramatic, just truly skilled artists, and I think that's what I really love about this, is these guys are true artists, and I really appreciate everything that they put in this. And I've heard other albums of theirs. There's several I haven't got a hold of yet, but that's kind of my kind of new thing, is to track down all of their albums, because I'm just blown away by everything this band does. If you like black metal, symphonic black metal, if you like death metal, if you like heavy metal, if you like symphony, if you like theater, if you like concept albums, if you like classical piano, if you like horror, if you like stuff, you should get this goddamn album. It is incredible. Really love this. My favorites on it so far are Operation Compass and the title track, Frankensteinum Strata I Montanus. Frankensteiner, Strata I Montanus. Frankensteiner, Strata I Montanus. I should also add that these copies of this tend to sell out fast. They're often back ordered from different places, so make sure, the minute you can get a hold of one, get a copy of this. Really, truly excellent. Mine actually is a double black vinyl. It came with a bonus track on this one. There's some pictures in here that I can't show you on YouTube, but very amazing photography and artwork in here. So really cool, just everything about these guys. Looking at their other albums, just amazing art, amazing photography. Even looking at some of the lyric videos that they have out. Check them out when you get a chance. There's some really cool stuff there. Up next, we're going over to Germany to check out a band that is a power metal band. It shouldn't seem like there's anything strange about Germany and power metal, right? I mean, obviously, Germany and metal go hand in hand, but this band is obsessed with Scotland. The band I'm talking about is Gravedigger, and this is their new album, Fields of Blood, released May 29th on Napalm Records. I gotta admit that I've heard the band's name several times, but I just never really checked them out, and I had no idea how long they've been around. In fact, I didn't even realize what kind of music they were. I think I probably thought the name Gravedigger, I was kind of thinking, maybe some kind of like death metal band or something. Never really gave them a chance, and I decided to order this, and when I flipped it open, I was kind of like, these dudes are old. How long has this band been around? Well, it turns out they've been around for 40 years. This is actually their 20th album, and it's kind of celebrating the fact that they've been around 40 years and doing 20 albums. And so they have 2 other albums besides this one that are all concept albums about Scotland's history. So they just kind of felt like, with the 20th anniversary, 40th anniversary, 20th album, that they wanted to go back and revisit that one more time. It was just a topic that they truly love. Now look, I get that. I'm a Wallace. Look, Clan Wallace. I've known all about, the stories of William Wallace well before Mel Gibson put on blue face paint like some kind of deranged black metal singer, I knew about it way before the Braveheart movie, and I, of course, have always been interested in the Scottish heritage. In fact, I have a very close friend named Jane Mackey over in Scotland who helped me put together my family tree. She's in Ayrshire. Love you, Jane. So, this album, when I kind of found out what it was all about, and especially when I found out they had like 3 bagpipers who contributed to a lot of the music, that kind of got me really interested. These guys have a really nice production. It's very much like a power metal production, like think, Iced Earth, as far as, nice big warm crunchy guitars to it, strong drums. The vocalist, Chris Boltondahl, actually, his vocal style is very raspy, reminds me a lot of Lemmy, actually. Really cool stuff here. Now, I will say that although that they're, of course, very into, sounding like triumphant soldiers, as far as being, warriors of Scotland, they kind of tend to quote the movie Braveheart a few spots here and there, and that's not actual history. It's a movie, but other than that, it's a little goofy sometimes like that, but for the most part, there's a lot of heartfelt storytelling in this. And it's actually quite a beautiful album in most spots. Interesting facts about this band is that, like I said, they've been around for a long time. You'd think we'd know more about them. They've gone through a couple different aliases over the years. For a while, they're actually just called Digger. I kind of dropped the grave part. And then I had to triple check this one. But apparently they had another alias, another band name they used for a short while. It was actually Hawaii. Yeah, that's right, like the island, Hawaii. That was the name Gravedigger went by for, I don't know, I don't understand it. Anyway, this really good album, definitely check it out, especially if you love power metal. Favorite songs on this one would be Heart of Scotland and Gathering of the Clans. When I'm in the mood for sheer brutality and I want like maybe a really good workout that's really aggressive, one band I can always count on is Vader. I've got them right here in the battle vest. Vader is one of my absolute favorite death metal bands. They're kind of death thrash, I guess. The roots kind of come from a thrash. They actually started off way back in '83, although they didn't actually break out with an album until '92. Their first album was Ultimate Cantation. But in those years that they were kind of developing, they went from being more heavy metal to thrash to more of that death sound that we know them as, just super aggressive. This is the new album, Solitude and Madness. Came out May 1st on Nuclear Blast. Now my version, let me grab my copy here, show you the vinyl. This is the kind of swamp green and red. I believe it's limited to like 300 copies. I don't know if you can see that on there, but yeah. So anyway, Vader is a relentless metal band. They just continue to pummel you with aggressive music. It's kind of like a bully older brother who grabs your hands and slaps you with them over and over again and keeps saying, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. That's Vader, only you love it. Vader just never stops. Super relentless. Look at them, they're all badass. The frontman, Peter Wikzarek, he's been kind of the main guy for the band for well, since they started actually, and there's been several lineups, but you know, Peter's the consistent one. Just one of the most, I don't know, something about his voice that is just super badass. I always really liked it, and of course the music just, you know, when you've been around that long, a lot of bands, they tend to kind of mellow out, or they mellow out and then they try to come back and prove themselves. Metallica, not this band. Vader has never let up. They get just more and more aggressive. Really, I challenge you to find a band as brutal as Vader that's been around as long as they've been. They've just been, you know, just always consistent. This album actually is a very hard-hitting, kind of almost reminds me of Slayer's Rain and Blood in the fact that it's just very short and to the point, no frills. This album's actually just a hair under 30 minutes long, so I mean, you know, as much as, you know, they got this nice gatefold and the limited edition vinyl and everything, yeah, it's really just kind of a short album, but it's all aggressive and all great. Favorite songs on this one? Well, let me see. I'm going to go with Shock and Awe. The opener is a great song. And Satan Wept, and then Emptiness right here.
No angels, no wings to protect, only darkness that lurks all around, the blissful voice from the abyss. In the grip of the festering pain that throws the anger within, for staging stripped from truth, eroded words from eroded worlds.
Maximum badassery. I actually had every intention of going to see them only a couple months ago. They were supposed to be here in Florida, and COVID-19 fucked us again. So I have never seen Vader, and I am looking forward to eventually, when things ever get back to normal again, being able to go see them. So anyway, that's my reviews for this week. So hope you enjoy that, and pick up all three of them. All right, especially Carach Angren. All right, anyway, let's get on with the show and get to the Honored Metal.
This is David Sinclair Smith from Children of Perdition, and it's my honour to support Metal with Honour.